Okay, lab session number 3. Now we're looking at cash budget. Now you've been discussing in your lectures and you've been working on cash budgets. One thing that you'll notice is it's a cumbersome process, isn't it? Going through those numbers manually. If you make a mistake, you cross it out. Fortunately, we can do it in Excel. And this is where you start seeing the power of Excel, because you can create tables, you can do all sorts of things. So the learning outcomes are, you will, at the end of this, you have knowledge on how to export data to Excel. So say you go on a website and you've got lots of data. Instead of typing it, you can just right click, export, and then it exports to Excel, and then you can start working on it. The second one is to convert data into a table and manipulate it, take out stuff you don't want, filter, and do all these things. And Mobina will show you in a minute. And also the third one is to be able to construct a cash budget. Now this is important for your assignment. And if you've seen the assignment already, or if you haven't seen it, you should have seen it. You need to create a cash budget, and you're going to research on a lot of information. And so manipulating and working on it, this is very handy. This is one of those videos you will need to come back to watch for your assignment. So make sure you do that. And so Mobina is just going to go through these, and she might even show you how to create a table from scratch or export and all these things. So pay attention.
Thank you, Michael. So yes, as Michael said, I'm going to show you how you're going to export some data from anywhere on the internet, and it's going to export it into Excel. First thing to remember, which is key, is use Internet Explorer. If you use Google, it won't give you the same options. So if you find that you're doing it and you're thinking, why is it not giving me the option? Remember what I've said is use Internet Explorer. So if you scroll down on this sheet, your Word document, it's given a link of the example that we're going to use. So it's a vehicle data car registration database. So instead of, it does say when you hover over it that you can hold the control button down and click, and it will automatically open up the link. But when you do that, by default, it will open it up in Google Chrome, and that's where it doesn't give you the full function. So what I suggest you do is you just left click on your mouse, highlight the actual link, and then do Control and C to copy it. Open up Internet Explorer, open up a new tab, and paste in. So you can either right click on your mouse and use the paste function, or you can just click in the toolbar, address bar, and Control and V for paste, and it pastes in the address, and enter. Give it a moment and it will open up the website of car registrations. Just to show you, if I go to Google Chrome and I'm on the same website, this is a table that you're going to look at in Internet Explorer. We're looking at the year-to-date brand. If I now right-click anywhere in this table, you can see these are the options it gives me. Not a lot. If I now go back to Internet Explorer and I'm clicking on year-to-date by brand, and now I right-click anywhere in the table, you can see it's a much longer list of the options that you've got. What we're after is the 1/3 from the bottom, export to Microsoft Excel. So left click and say allow, and it will automatically export all the information into Excel. So by default it opens up Excel. You don't need to do anything. Give it a moment for it to process all the information. Just give it a sec. And lo and behold, you've got all the data exported directly into Excel. You can now click on this to expand, and you don't need to use Internet Explorer anymore because you've got all the data that you need here in Excel. It looks a bit messy, so this is where I'm going to teach you how to tidy it up so it makes a bit more sense. If you look at the top, the headings are they're not quite aligned. So what I shall do is delete year to date and bring down percentage change. So all I'm doing is using my mouse to click in the cell, and I can either do Control and C to copy it, click in the cell I want to, and Control and V to paste it, and then I can just click back in there and delete, or you could have done Control and X to cut it and then paste it in. The next thing we want to do now is create our table. As you can see, we've got one empty row here. So you've got a choice of two things you can do. Either you can delete that row, so you would take your mouse to where it says number 1 and right click and delete. So it deletes that whole row, or you could have just highlighted it from row 2. So now I can left click on my mouse, highlight the data, drag it to the bottom while holding the button down, hold it there. Go to the top, click on Insert and Table. Click OK because we want to create the table, and click Yes. And you will see now that we have a table that's easier on the eye, and you've got a few more functions within your table. So let's have a look at what you've got. You've got these little arrows, and they are so that you can sort the information, the data that you have in your table. So if we look at the first one, it's telling us the different types of cars that we have. So you could sort this into any order that you want. At the moment, as you can see, it's in alphabetical order. So we'll leave it at that for now. Let's look at 2018, the number of cars that were ordered in registrations were ordered for that particular car. So if we click here, let's sort it into smallest to largest. We do that, and it automatically, Excel has put it, so there was only 29 Chevrolets ordered, and there was, the most popular one was the Ford. So it sorted it in that order. We can do the same with market share. We could do with the same for 2017. If we click on market share, we could say number filters, less than, and we can put 2. Click OK, and it sorted all the cars that had a market share of less than 2%, and it's removed anything else that had a percentage more than 2%. Now let's look at trying to find information about a particular car. So I'm going to click on the arrow, and I'm going to put it back in alphabetical order, because originally it was in the order of the number of cars. Now I want it to find say for example Mitsubishi cars. So I'm just going to click on the drop down arrow, and I'm going to deselect. So where it says select all, click in there and it deselects everything. And now I'm going to choose the car that I want information on. I've changed my mind, I'm going to choose the Maserati. Click OK, and there it just literally gives you the information on the particular car that you wanted. You could do 1, you could do 2, you could do as many as you want. So as you can see, there's a lot of functions that you can use within Excel to help you extract or sort or filter the information in the table.